The film's opening scene introduces us to Junior, a 19-year-old young man who has recently been sentenced to 6 months in prison for a theft he committed. Despite his youthful age, Junior finds himself in an adult prison, as he is considered too old for a youth detention center. As he goes through the initial admission process, Junior is led to his cell. Walking past other cells, he can't help but feel nervous, surrounded by a mix of criminals, ranging from minor offenders to hardened criminals. Upon reaching his assigned cell, a guard introduces Junior to his cellmate, Ben, who surprisingly is the same age as Junior. However, Ben appears apprehensive upon seeing Junior. The following day, Junior's hair is shaved entirely bald, in line with the other inmates' appearance. Afterward, Junior joins the workforce at the prison's shoe factory, where inmates engage in various types of work and receive wages. While working, Junior notices a particularly menacing fellow inmate named Brendan, a notorious gangster and robber. Simultaneously, he witnesses Ben being forcibly taken by another prisoner named Dave and his associates. Dave, who is homosexual, targets younger inmates like Ben for harassment. Despite the troubling situation, Junior chooses not to involve himself in their affairs. Instead, he harbors an ambition to approach Brendan and possibly rise to a position of influence within the prison, just like him. Not long after, Junior approaches Brendan while the latter is engrossed in a game of chess. With confidence, Junior claims that he can defeat Brendan in just 3 moves. To everyone's surprise, Junior swiftly demonstrates his prowess, managing to outmaneuver Brendan, who was once a chess champion. This unexpected loss frustrates Brendan, but he also imparts a valuable piece of wisdom to Junior. He explains that everyone in prison, including the likes of Dave and his gang, is essentially nobody to be feared. Brendan advises Junior to serve his sentence quietly and look forward to eventual release without getting entangled in unnecessary conflicts. Later that night, Junior is awoken by a commotion in his cell. He finds Ben sharpening the end of a toothbrush, intending to use it as a makeshift weapon for self-defense. Ben confesses that he's reached his breaking point due to the relentless harassment from Dave and his gangs. Hearing Ben's story, Junior begins to feel a sense of empathy and understanding toward his cellmate. The following day, Junior devises a plan to incite a fight with Ben intentionally. His motive is to have both of them placed in isolation cells, away from the clutches of Dave and his gang. The strategy works, and shortly after, the guards relocate Junior to a brutal isolation cell devoid of a roof, subjecting him to the blazing sun. Meanwhile, Ben is transported to the prison hospital due to the injuries sustained during his altercation with Junior. After a few days, they are released from their respective confinement and return to their usual routines. Brendan approaches Junior and urges him to avoid stirring up trouble. Brendan emphasizes that Junior can't aid anyone within the prison. Once more, Junior witnesses Dave and his crew tormenting Ben. Unable to bear the continuous suffering, Ben decides to do the unthinkable. Junior witnesses this tragic event and immediately alerts the officers. Sadly, Ben succumbs to his injuries due to severe bleeding. Following Ben's passing, Dave shifts his focus to harassing Junior. However, Junior refuses to endure such treatment and resorts to the same method as Ben by sharpening a toothbrush for self-defense. Over time, Brendan recognizes Junior's potential and invites him to join his gang. This causes Dave to reconsider targeting Junior. Brendan also discloses his grand plan to Junior, that a major heist he intends to execute after serving over 20 years in prison. The condition for Junior to become part of this scheme is to assist Brendan upon his eventual release from prison. Brendan was quite confident that Junior could be a dependable ally. However, he made it clear that if Junior declined the offer, Brendan wouldn't come to his aid if Dave bothered him again. Brendan also warned Junior about Dave's ruthless associates, both inside and outside the prison. He gave Junior 1 day to carefully weigh the proposition. The following day, Junior intended to meet Brendan again, but unexpectedly, Dave and his gang dragged him into the restroom and forced him to undress. Fortunately, Brendan and his crew arrived in the nick of time to rescue Junior. They ruthlessly beat Dave and his men, leaving them badly injured. Subsequently, Brendan ordered his men to dispose of Dave by throwing him from an upper floor. Since that incident, no other inmate dared to lay a hand on Junior. Over the course of the next 5 months, Junior became a formidable and feared figure in the prison, all thanks to Brendan's guidance. In the end, Junior was finally released from prison. To fulfill his promise to Brendan, he didn't immediately return to his hometown. Instead, he chose to send a letter to a mafia boss named Sam. Sam was a powerful and feared figure in his territory, controlling 80% of the illegal activities there. Coincidentally, Sam was playing chess and sought advice from Junior, who was highly skilled in strategic thinking. Sam was greatly impressed by Junior's abilities and promptly offered him a position in his organization. However, one of Sam's henchmen, his nephew Wilson, didn't take kindly to Junior's presence. Later, Junior was provided with a beachside residence with a view of beautiful women. When he opened the suitcase given to him by Sam, he found a silenced pistol inside. As Junior was about to test the weapon, a girl knocked on his door. She was Sam's mistress named Tasha, and she was sent by Sam to provide money and a cell phone to Junior. Tasha also delivered specific instructions to him. Following the instructions from Tasha, Junior wasted no time in meeting with an illegal arms dealer named Merv. He placed an order for the weapons specified by Tasha, and to his surprise, Merv threw in some complimentary firearms training to ensure Junior could proficiently use the weaponry. The next day, Junior received a new order that he need to head back to the prison and aid in Brendan's release. As per Tasha's instructions, Junior arranged for a helicopter rental. Realizing he was about to partake in a criminal act, Junior held the pilot at gunpoint, steering the helicopter toward the prison. Simultaneously, inside the prison, Brendan prepared for his escape. He instructed his henchmen to create chaos within the facility, eventually taking a guard hostage and demanding the prison doors be unlocked. The helicopter, carrying Junior, touched down in the prison's backyard as instructed. Without hesitation, Junior joined Brendan and his men, employing his newfound shooting skills from Merv's training to fend off the prison officers. Despite only a single training session, Junior displayed impressive ability. After disembarking from the helicopter, they used a car provided by Sam to reach their destination. However, upon arrival, Brendan suddenly assaulted one of his henchmen, as he had previously lied to Brendan. Following their rest at the villa, Brendan and his crew were met with a lively party hosted by Sam. During this gathering, they discussed the ambitious heist they were about to undertake. Sam revealed his plan to steal gold bars worth a staggering 800 times the government's currency. As Sam and Brendan hashed out the details of the heist, Junior approached Tasha, who was smoking by the villa's pool. However, Wilson rudely pushed Junior into the pool, unaware that Junior couldn't swim and was now struggling to stay afloat. Witnessing Junior's distress, Tasha courageously jumped in to rescue him. Feeling embarrassed and upset by Wilson's actions, Junior decided to leave the party. On his way home, Tasha appeared and offered him a ride, which he gladly accepted. She then took him to a nearby restaurant, and the two quickly grew fond of each other, bonding over their similar ages. Junior couldn't help but wonder why Tasha hadn't escaped from Sam's clutches, considering her discomfort as Sam's mistress. Tasha explained that attempting to flee would undoubtedly lead to her demise at Sam's hands, something that Junior could empathize with. They spent the night enjoying each other's company, sharing laughter and jokes. The following day, Brendan reprimanded Junior for his earlier interaction with Tasha. He warned Junior that if Sam discovered his advances toward his woman, it would enrage Sam, potentially resulting in Junior's death as punishment. Brendan urged Junior to shift his focus to the impending heist. Furthermore, Brendan invited Junior to join their team, responsible for monitoring the mining company targeted for the robbery. Brendan emphasized the high level of security at the location and assigned Junior the task of using his weapon if any guards approached, underlining the necessity of being prepared to employ it. That evening, Brendan went over his plan once more and extended an invitation to Sam to join their robbery. While Brendan explained their scheme, Wilson continued to mock and provoke Junior, causing tension to escalate and leading to a physical altercation between Junior and Wilson. In an attempt to calm himself down, Junior decided to head to a local club. However, during his night out, he spotted Tasha being harassed by a group of men. Acting swiftly, Junior brandished his pistol to scare them away. Tasha, however, disapproved of his actions, fearing that it might attract the attention of the police. Junior promptly apologized and vowed not to repeat his reckless behavior. He then invited Tasha for a cup of coffee, but she preferred to visit the beach instead. Upon reaching the beach, Tasha offered to teach Junior how to swim, but their shared moment of teaching quickly transformed into an intimate encounter. The following day, Tasha presented Junior with her necklace as a token of their connection. In return, Junior promised Tasha that he would obtain the stolen gold and free her from Sam's control. Shortly thereafter, Junior joined forces with Brendan and his crew to execute the robbery as planned. To infiltrate the mining company, they disguised themselves as electrical repairmen and entered through the main gate. Brendan promptly disabled the CCTV control room and incapacitated the guards with an electric shock. Simultaneously, Junior, wearing a monkey-faced mask, descended from the ventilation system and subdued the on-site workers. While Brendan and his team secured the gold, they held the remaining workers hostage. The robbery unfolded smoothly, but Wilson's reckless action, where he shot one of the hostages, jeopardized Brendan's plan, which aimed to avoid harming anyone. Brendan instructed Wilson to control the bleeding with a piece of cloth. Meanwhile, police officers arrived at the mining site, forcing Brendan to shift their plan to a shootout with the law enforcement. After successfully securing the gold, they engaged in a fierce firefight with the police, dispatching a barrage of gunfire. Following their escape, Brendan and his crew managed to evade capture, but sadly, one of Brendan's henchmen succumbed to a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Not long after, Brendan and his crew meet with Sam at a designated location. Brendan was furious with Sam due to Wilson's disruption of their plan, which had exposed them to the police. Additionally, one of Brendan's henchmen had tragically lost his life during the operation. Sam extended his condolences for the henchman's demise. Following their meeting, Sam instructed Brendan and Junior to eliminate all evidence related to the robbery, including burning the cars and the henchman's body. Simultaneously, Tasha was seen packing her belongings as she intended to escape with Junior. Unexpectedly, Sam had suspicions about her intentions and dispatched one of his henchmen to eliminate Tasha. However, Tasha didn't surrender easily. She swiftly struck Sam with an iron and made a hasty escape. Not only Tasha and Junior, but also Brendan found themselves ensnared in Sam's trap, as Sam sought to seize all the stolen gold. Brendan led Junior to a cemetery, where he dug a hidden stash of his savings. Brendan planned to head to Melbourne, where Sam intended to sell the stolen gold. Before their departure for Melbourne, Junior arranged a train ticket for Tasha to join them. During the train journey, Brendan was depicted enjoying coffee and the scenic views, while Junior and Tasha reunited and kindled their romance. Upon reaching their destination, Brendan met with an associate to gather information about Sam's upcoming gold sale to the Russian mafia. That evening, Brendan, Junior, and Tasha watched the news on TV, only to discover that they had become fugitives. Brendan handed an envelope of money to Tasha, instructing her to deliver it to the wife of his deceased henchman. However, Tasha refused, which infuriated Brendan, leading him to slap her. This angered Junior as well, as he couldn't tolerate Brendan hitting his new girlfriend. A fight broke out, but eventually they decided to reconcile, realizing they were all in a challenging situation. While waiting for Tasha to buy food, Brendan suggested to Junior that he should leave Tasha, fearing she might become a burden. Unfortunately, Tasha overheard this conversation and ran away, fearing for her life from Brendan and Junior. Learning of this, Junior chased after her to resolve the issue. He'd assured Tasha that he never intended to abandon her, even if Brendan offered him a substantial reward. In fact, Junior still wanted to follow their original plan, which was to escape with Tasha. However, Tasha was already disillusioned and chose to depart. Before leaving, she informed Junior that Brendan had only wanted to use her. Meanwhile, Brendan was enjoying a meal when he suddenly found himself at gunpoint from behind. The person holding the gun was Walker, a fellow member of Sam's alliance who had been sent to eliminate Brendan. Instead, Brendan proposed a collaboration with Walker, promising to share the proceeds from the gold sale, and Walker agreed. On the other hand, Junior felt dejected after Tasha left him. He continued to send voice messages to her, desperately wanting to reunite with her. The next morning, Junior woke up to find Brendan pointing a pistol at him. This startled Junior, thinking Brendan wanted to harm him. However, it turned out that Brendan had planned a surprise because it was Junior's birthday. Brendan then gave the pistol to Junior as a gift. Later, Brendan invited Junior to disrupt the gold deal between Sam and the Russian mafia. Unfortunately, Sam didn't appear at the location. He only sent Wilson and his henchmen. Brendan and Junior watched from a distance as Walker arrived and crashed into Wilson's car. This made the Russian mafia think that Sam's henchmen were trying to ruin the deal, leading to a shootout. Brendan and Junior intervened and eliminated them all. They then took the injured Wilson to an empty warehouse and tortured him until he revealed the location of Sam's gold. At first, Wilson refused to talk, so Brendan decided to put him in a freezer. When Wilson became too cold and suffered, Brendan asked again about the gold, and reluctantly, Wilson disclosed its location. Not long after, Brendan and Junior went to the location, opened the suitcase shown by Wilson, which indeed contained real gold. After obtaining the gold, they returned to Sam's hideout for revenge. Brendan wasted no time and brutally killed Sam. They both then checked into a hotel, waiting for the situation to become safer. Not long after, they purchased a ship to escape abroad, but during the journey, Brendan and Junior had another argument. This time, Junior felt deeply disappointed in Brendan, whom he had always seen as an honest mentor. However, Brendan realized that Junior had moved all the gold to another location, which made him furious. He pointed his gun at Junior. Meanwhile, Tasha called Brendan and claimed she had the gold. Unexpectedly, Junior and Tasha had set a trap while they were still in Melbourne. Furious, Brendan pushed Junior into the sea, forgetting that Junior couldn't swim. Despite his anger, Brendan had no intention of killing him, as Junior was his best student. Brendan rescued Junior and brought him back onto the ship, and they reconciled as usual. Brendan even allowed Junior and Tasha to take some of his gold. However, when they docked and Junior left, Brendan was surrounded by special forces who had been pursuing him since his prison escape. In the end, Junior and Tasha lived happily as a married couple, while Brendan was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Sometime later, Brendan received a letter from Junior, revealing that he had hidden Brendan's share of the gold in a grave. In any case, Brendan had turned Junior into a brave and resilient man. Moral lesson from the story: when interrogating someone, don't forget to use the refrigerator, in case information about where the gold is hidden might be found out.